with an AFC North rivalry on tap. Oh, look at that, the white Bengal tiger. Couple of experienced quarterbacks, that's a nice way to say it, will be front and center in Cincinnati. Some news on the Bengals side to get to as well. We will get to that actually right now. Jeremy Fowler is in Cincinnati joining us now. Jeremy, the Bengals fans were hoping Trey Hendrickson will be out there tonight, but you just got some breaking news on his status. What do we need to know?
Laura, a source told me that Bengals star pass rusher Trey Hendrickson is out tonight with a hip issue. He wanted to try to play, but he told coaches today it's just going to be really tough for him to get back off that hip issue, and so he's hoping for next week against the Jets. Now, that is great news for Aaron Rodgers, who was already coming into this game with a lot of chemistry with his coaches and teammates. This has essentially become a run-first offense. Rodgers is totally cool with that. I talked to right tackle Troy Fautanu, who said that Rodgers really isn't making a lot of changes at the line of scrimmage. He'll do his normal checks and protections, but it's not like he's running his own old Green Bay offense. He is all in on running Arthur Smith's plan and offense, being protected at 41 years old with that steady running game. And also, players in the locker room talk about Arthur Smith and Rodgers. You saw the two there. They have really good chemistry. They have very similar personalities, quick-witted. Fautanu told me they are constantly razzing each other in team meetings. So that's been a good sign for their chemistry here that's translated on the field. One last note, with Calvin Austin out at wide receiver, watch for Roman Wilson, second-year guy. He could play a little bit more tonight. They're slowly trying to bring him along.
All right, something to keep an eye out for sure. Thanks to Jeremy Fowler for the latest there. And Aaron Rodgers, he's been letting his receivers do the work this season. He's averaging a league low 5.3 air yards per attempt, nearly 3 yards under his career average. And he's getting more than 7 yards after the catch per completion, the most in the league. The Steelers, 142 yards after catch per game this season, leads the league. And look who we have here today. We got Teddy Bruschi joining us on Thursday NFL Live. It's so great to have you, Teddy.
So many Super Bowl champions.
We got a couple Super Bowl champions. Dan, so many, just two. Unless you got something to tell us we don't know about. Just kidding. Okay, J-Mac's here. Dan Orlovsky's here. Teddy, why has Rodgers found success right out of the gates in Pittsburgh this season?
Well, first of all, I mean, he's the best one to hear that news that Trey Hendrickson's not playing, because that old man is going to be able to hold on to that ball a little bit longer. That graphic you showed, though, Laura, I mean, getting the ball out of his hands and letting his receivers just run with it. From the 20 to the 20, this is above 41-year-old quarterbacking here. 20 to the 20, get it out of my hands. When it's in the red area, let me take some chances, because Rodgers is one of the top quarterbacks in the red area. 7 of his 15 throws are touchdowns in the red area. So what do I say to that as a defender? Okay, this guy's going to take care of himself in the field. He's going to get it out of his hands, but I better be on point, because the old Aaron Rodgers comes out. Arthur Smith's done a great job of getting him on the run in the red area, bootlegs, play actions, run game, all of that stuff. And when Rodgers sees a little bit of a window, he's going to take it, especially in the red area. That's where he takes his chances.
And they've totally changed the usage of DK Metcalf. DK in Seattle was a lot of just run deep, and that's the strength of his, obviously, size and speed. But they're giving it to him so much shorter route-wise. I mean, you look at the numbers, kind of comparison to what he's been in the past. The yards after the catch, DK Metcalf has 224 yards after the catch so far this season. That's #1 in the NFL for wide receivers.
Who wants to tackle that?
Yeah, I think that's the great point, is just trying to tackle him. And then I think the benefit of this is Aaron doesn't get touched anymore. I mean, the last 4 weeks, he's been hit 4 times a game. And so it's smart, because the big question was, could you keep him healthy enough, not for September and October, but for back into November, December, and
to
so
be there for every game.
We're talking about a guy in the last month who's been hit 10 to 12 times. If they can keep that going, this is sustainable.
Yeah, I love what both of you guys have said about Rodgers in the decision-making and getting the ball to his receivers. And when you talk specifically about DK Metcalf, the shorter passes, this past week against the Browns, we started to see it open up. We saw some of those deep shots along the sideline of DK Metcalf. And what I'm going to love to watch is him matched up with DJ Turner on the other side. DJ Turner hasn't gotten a lot of love as we're watching DK Metcalf go down the sideline. And when you're doing those short passes, you open it up to have those opportunities when he's singled up on the outside. DJ Turner last week matched Romeo Doubs, 4 pass breakups. He's matched up against Justin Jefferson. He's matched up throughout the course of this season. They feel like they found something with him. Jamison Williams, when they played against the Detroit Lions. To me, this is one to watch in the game tonight when you're looking to see, all right, DK Metcalf's going to be out there, where you're going to see DJ Turner on the opposite side of him, and he's a guy that's made plays for them on defense.
If they're going to play Turner one-on-one, Aaron's just going to throw him the ball. I mean, that's kind of what their pass game. How many guys in the league can cover DK one-on-one?
And then tackle him.
Yeah.
And then tackle him when he gets
We
the ball.
win 50-50 of it.
We watched Surtain do it last year when they played him, and he did a really good job of covering DK. You need a guy that has that size and that physicality, to your point, to be able to match him. We watched DK Metcalf in the run game punk some corners.
Yeah.
So you got to go out there and have the right mindset against him.
Metcalf leads all wide receivers with 224 yards after the catch this season. Even if you thought you brought him down, he probably is still
want no
going.
parts.
All right, let's get some top stories in here now as we bring in Jeff Darlington. Jeff, what can you tell us about Puka Nacua?
Yeah, well, some good news in terms of Puka Nacua's ankle injury, in that it doesn't feel like it's long-term. The bad news, it does feel like he's going to miss this upcoming game. He has not been ruled out. He's still considered day-to-day, but the Rams are traveling to London, make it all the more difficult for him to be able to play. I thought Sean McVay had a very good quote. He said there's a difference between return to play versus return to performance. You want to make sure that he's in a position to succeed. It feels like he's still a little bit of ways from making that return. Meanwhile, CeeDee Lamb does actually look like he is tracking toward a return to play. We don't know that for sure yet, but limited in practice. He was out there again today, so it is trending in that direction after missing the last 3 games. Again, we'll watch closely today. I think this will wind up going into the weekend, but it does feel like CD is tracking toward playing. Mike Evans, meanwhile, also looking like he could return to the field this weekend, which would be huge news for the Bucs. They are impressive considering the litany of injuries that have faced this wide receiver room. Emeka Egbuka, the latest to go down with a hamstring injury that will keep him sidelined. Chris Godwin also out. But Evans now able to make the return. Laura, the crazy thing about this is the Bucs, the best record in the NFC, have never had those 3 wide receivers on the field at the same time. If and when they do, man, dangerous team.
Yeah, it does make you think about that, right? They were telling me that Mike Evans has been in all the meetings and everything this week, so a good sign. Baker Mayfield was just asked about how they've managed such a hot start without all their players.
We're sitting at 5-1, and you look at, the only interception I've had is when we lost. So you look at that, I look at how do we win, and that's what I'm worried about and focused on. So our team, I believe in it. I said it from training camp. I like the young guys that we have. I like the people we have. Obviously, it's never ideal when you're having to move people around all the time. Don't get me wrong, but nobody cares. Nobody feels bad for you. So you got to find a way to make it work.
Just to cap that off a little bit of what's going on in Tampa is so abnormal in the NFL. They've had the most offensive line combinations in the league this year, yet 5-1. They have more guys than anybody in the NFL with 10-plus targets at pass catcher, tight end, running back, yet 5-1. That's unique to how successful they've been, because usually that happens and you lose.
Yeah, new offensive coordinator, too. I mean, Josh Grizzard deserves credit, but it's Baker.
Todd Bowles holds that all together. The mentality that he has is always calm. And then, of course, there's the intensity and everything else that is Baker Mayfield, of course. But to have that as the head coach, when you're in a team meeting room to see that, it does.
I'm glad you said that. I don't know if Todd Bowles gets enough credit, too. A lot of us have focused on
the whole
Baker.
organization doesn't.
Right. Let's talk about this Monday Night Football matchup with the Lions. What's going to be the hardest thing for the Lions defense to contend with this Bucs offense?
Even with all the injuries, I think it's one of the best 12 personnel gap run games in the league. 12 personnel, 1 back, 2 tight ends, and that gap stuff, the counters that they run, it's really good. And they could do it with their tight ends. They could do it with their offensive linemen. The different ways that they can get to that will present the challenge to Detroit. Second thing, you know what quarterback has the most rushing yards on 3rd down in the NFL this year?
This is my run right here.
Baker Mayfield.
Hit, shake and bake, stiff arm,
Teddy, Baker Mayfield.
Reach for the sticks.
You know what quarterback has ran for more first downs on 3rd down this year? Baker Mayfield.
Wow.
He's the best 3rd down scrambling quarterback in football right now. And so, for a defense that wants to play man coverage, I think it'll be interesting to see, does Detroit treat Baker Mayfield the way that they treated Lamar Jackson?
Hey, Bake's representing for y'all, man. Give him some love. The fact that you said the gap run scheme, and what I've learned from you being able to work for you the last 2 years, you always talk about within those runs, how do you marry them up to go out there and pass the ball? And when you look at Tampa Bay and what they're able to do, you talked about the gap schemes. You're going to see right here, both tight ends. One's off the ball on the right. He's going to come in motion on the left. He's the kick out block. They're also pulling the right guard. This is in the first quarter of this football game. to start the game, running the ball to Rashad White, getting him the ball.
GF counter, guard and F tight end.
There you go, right there, the offensive perspective. Now, if I'm on defense, I'm out there, and if I'm in the middle of this play earlier in the first quarter, I'm going to blow this thing up.
Yeah.
So now they're coming downhill. Only difference, Baker was under center, now he's in the pistol. Watch the way the defense reacts to this play action. All 4 of those guys are all flying up the field. Now, look at the open area. Yeah. Cade Otton on the outside. He's able to dump the ball up for a plus 20-yard gain. So when you talk about the gap run scheme, it also opens up the pass game, and that's the answers to the test for the quarterback because now it makes it extremely easy for you.
And all that, fellas, negates defensively if one of the things you do if you're Detroit is, you know, you've got Hutchinson, you've got Al-Qadim Muhammad with 3.5 sacks. It's like, okay, when will we ever get to rush the passer?
Yeah.
So one of the rare times I've ever said this in terms of defensive scheme, it's like I'm going to Jared Goff actually as a player on defense during the week and say, man, we need 35. Because he is going to have to score to keep this close, and then hopefully the defense can make one play in the fourth quarter because Detroit – Branch is suspended.
Yeah.
There's so many people hurt. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
Be a good game. I just think the way that Tampa's playing offensively, the different screens that they present to you, the shots they take down the field. And I'd say this, like, Detroit can't make a mistake. It feels like every time a defense has made a mistake in coverage or leverage, Baker's hurt them.
Yeah, Aiden Hutchinson is on that Detroit side. He leads the NFL with 24 QB pressures. He's a force to be reckoned with. All right,
Stop the run first, man.
Good point. That Bucs-Lions game, that kicks things off on Monday night. We have a special start time of 7 Eastern on ESPN and ABC. And then Texans-Seahawks, that's Dan's game at 10 Eastern over on ESPN. Both available on ESPN Deportes, the all-new ESPN app. Coverage kicks off at 3 Eastern with NFL Live. We'll be live from Ford Field, followed by Monday Night Countdown at 5. We're just getting started today on NFL Live. The Eagles have been struggling lately, but all the Vikings defense could do some things to give them some more troubles. Dan and J-Mac are going to go to the touchscreen, tell you what they can do. Plus, Joe Flacco back in the spotlight tonight with the Steelers defense dialing up the heat. Can Flacco stay poised